shit, heckle. It's like SeaWorld. If you sit up front, you can touch the animals. We don't care. We're gonna make sure you get your money's worth. I'm actually happy to be here. I've been on the road like crazy. This tour started in Idaho Falls. Idaho is a boring state, man. I actually saw a deer run up to a hunter, like shooting fucking. I'm not kidding. When you drive through Idaho, you see those dead deer on the side of the highway. Those aren't accidents. Those are suicides, people. Every one of those deer has a note under the body, like, I'm bored, you know? They can't take it. I was in Seattle the next week. Seattle's weird. Apparently the Space Needle is filled with heroin. I didn't know that. That was a bit of a filthy town. Oh, everyone is on drugs in Seattle. A cop stopped me. He's like, "Are you shooting heroin, son?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, here you go then." I was like, "Oh, I guess that's just how it's gonna be then." But everywhere we go, they keep putting me up at La Quinta. Has anyone ever stayed at La Quinta? If you haven't, it's actually Spanish for shitty hotel. It's just the worst place. I called the front desk to complain. I was like, "Yeah, I got a leak in my sink." The guy was like, "Go ahead." Take a dump in the closet, we don't care. It's La Quinta, it's like $39, senor. Do your thing. The maid always knocks on the door, even if there's a do not disturb sign, a maid knocking on my door. And she's like, "Hey man, can I clean up?" I was like, "I guess." She came in and she washed her face and left. La Quinta, they don't care. It's $39. They're gonna get their money's worth. But this is what I tell people when I'm on the road. You're kind of seeing me tonight in my natural habitat. And what that means is, obviously, you know, a lot of you know me from TV or radio, but my background is driving a cab and doing stand-up. You know, I'm kind of like a feral cat. And Fox, right? Thank you. You guys get it. And Fox kind of domesticated me, and they taught me how to live inside without peeing on the furniture. Okay, stand-up is my chance to get out of the house and kill a few fucking birds, you dig? Gonna drag home a nice little mouse to Dana Perino's door tomorrow. Like, this is for you. This is for you, from Orlando. No, I like Orlando. Disney World, it's, you know, it's obviously changed since I was a kid. You know, Peter Pansexual is the new ride now. When I was a kid, we went to Cinderella's castle. Now it's Cinderfella, as you know. They kind of woked it out a little bit. It's a little bit different now. But I love it down here, and I've been traveling like crazy. The only advice I give people before my show starts is like, don't take any of this shit seriously, okay? It's just comedy. If I say something tonight that you think goes a little far, maybe say to yourself, I wonder if he's just kidding, you know? That's how comedy used to work back in the day. Like, we would come out and we would just joke. And that's all this is you know, it's a chance for us to treat each other like adults who know the difference between an adult joke and a hate crime. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Just gonna take the emotional bubble wrap off for an hour. You're all gonna be fine.
Bring it on.
Everyone's gonna live. But if I do say something tonight that really burns your balls, you know, you can't believe I did it, okay? I don't wanna fight, you know, because, you know, there are people here to laugh, so I don't wanna hold up the show arguing. But at the same time, you did buy a ticket, so I don't wanna silence you. So if I say something that upsets you, you can email me after the show at gofuckyourself.com. Because I don't care. The world is on fire. It's not comedians setting the blazes. I have enough problems. I'm trying to fit in at the biggest news network in the world. I dress like a gay magician, you know. What do you even call this jacket? This is from my Cry for Help collection. I was like, I'll wear pink for the moms, okay? But you can't wear pink at 230 pounds without looking like a sex offender, you dig? I'm not even kidding. I was driving by Disney World on the way here. I got maced twice. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. But yeah, just relax. That's all I ever say. Because, you know, people now are very PC. They're very obsessed with words. Where I'm from in New York. You know, you can't, yeah, L-Town, Levittown, New York, baby. There you go. You know, in New York State, you can't legally call someone a pervert anymore. You have to call them Governor Cuomo. And, that dirtbag. The best part is when Cuomo was finally getting chased out of office, he tried to like play the Italian card. He's like, yeah, they just don't understand our Italian culture. We're a very grabby, handsy, kissy type of people, which is true, but not in the way he was getting in trouble. No one is making that Olive Garden commercial, you know? Come over to the Olive Garden, we'll squeeze your breasts just like the old country. At the Cuomo Garden, we always share our breadstick, you know. He was just a pervert. He didn't want to own it. And they chased him out of there. Handsy Andy Cuomo. What a dirtbag. But it was crazy, you know, because that came and went. And I'm not like super duper political as a comic. Like the only advice I give people, never buy a used car from Elizabeth Warren. That's a weird story. Up in Massachusetts, sold my buddy a red Jeep Cherokee, and we ran the Carfax. Turned out to be a white Suburban. And gotta check the Carfax, man. Wouldn't dating be better if people came with Carfax, you know? You're like, I want to buy you a drink. Show me the Carfax. You're like, wow, you sure do have a lot of miles on this thing. It says here you've been rear-ended a couple of times. How about I feel about that one? I want to get the extended warranty on the vehicle. We're on the Space Coast, that matters. You know, Kennedy Space Center, Orlando, okay. Well, if you clap for that, you're not gonna like the next part of this joke. I grew up obviously believing we landed on the moon, but something happened recently that made me think we didn't land on the moon. Can we talk about this? This is the comedy portion of the show. Don't go fucking astronaut Buzz Aldrin on me and punch me in the face. This is all it comes down to. So where I was raised in Levittown was it was America's first suburb. It was built for GIs returning home from World War II. So I grew up near a bunch of old men you should never make a sudden move around. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of civic pride. They fought for the country. They were great people. I obviously believed in the moon landing. They made the Gemini space capsules, a lot of them at Grumman, which is over in Bethpage, not far from my childhood home. So I've always believed this. But you know what happened this past June, you guys? India landed its first vessel on the moon. And it was an unmanned vessel. You follow me so far? So India can't put a man on the moon in 2024. India, who we call for tech support if shit goes wrong. If something happens with your computer or your TV, you're getting on the phone, abba dabba dabba dabba, Mike. And you're like, I don't know that it is Mike, but can you fucking help me with my computer, please? And he's like, but they can't get on the fucking moon? I don't know, you guys. I'm glad I ran that by you, because I think Buzz Aldrin would punch me in the face for that. And I did meet him. I met him at Fox one day. He's a cool guy. Everyone at Fox is cool. This is the challenge for me. All of my friends are dirtbags, okay? I still hang out with all my cabbie buddies. I hang out with all my comedy buddies. And it always comes back to get me at the worst times. I do a show on Fox called Outnumbered, okay? Yay! Boom. Okay, well, understand. Okay, whenever I'm on that show, the second we go to commercial, I'll get a text like, bro, those girls are so fucking hot, bro. I don't know how you don't sniff the couch when they get up and go to the bathroom, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, Lincoln, not now, daddy's working. It's actually, my son has behaved very well for a 15-year-old boy who hangs out at Fox News. I said that one day, I was filling in on the 5, and I said to the judge, I go, I gotta give it to my son. If I was walking around this building when I was 15, I would've got Me Too'd in the lobby, okay? And she goes, why? What were you doing when you were 15? And I was like, my pillow? Not the Mike Lindell way? Stop it. I'm just being silly. But my kid is going through it because, you know, with all this PC bullshit, there was a San Francisco high school that wanted to take Abraham Lincoln's name off the school, which is the dumbest shit you've ever heard of, okay? Like, I named my kid Lincoln in 2008. I never in a million years thought it would be controversial someday to have a child named after the guy who freed the slaves, okay? But it now is. So whenever we're in Frisco, he has to go by his middle name, OJ. Because you don't want to offend the locals, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to upset them. But it's a changing world. They're trying to make everything nicer, but it's not nicer, and it's setting us back as a people. Like I read a study the other day that 40% of elementary school children are obese, but they're not doing anything about it because they don't know they're fat. They don't know how would you not know you were fat? I'll tell you how. We eliminated bullying. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, every one of those fat kids would have known they were fat. Would have went on a high protein diet and turned their lives around. But no, now we have a nation full of 7-year-old man boobs because you can't call names. And if you don't believe me, it's because you've never been to Disney World up the road. If you've been in Disney World lately, it's just fat people on scooters eating turkey legs. That's the... They don't even ride the rides anymore. You just dodge the fat people. That's the adventure now. You gotta get a fast pass to dodge scooters on fucking Main Street. It's crazy. And it's sad to me, you know, because like, I am the beneficiary of a tough love society. I was like 300 pounds as a kid, but I did something about it because I knew I was fat. Like I knew. Every day when I got dropped off at school, the minute I got out of that car, hey, you fat fuck. How much can you eat today, you fucking animal? And I'd be like, all right, Mom, I'll see you at 3. I'll see you at 3. Right? You can mess your kid up a little bit, though, to turn him around. Nobody turns it around anymore, you know? It's bad, because like when I was young, like if you had a fucked up eye, your teacher told you you had a fucked up eye. Yo, Cyclops, get your ass up to the blackboard. Your one-eye look, I'm over here, Cyclops. You can't see me. And it hurt that dude's feelings, but you know what he did? He saved up some money, he got that shit fixed so he could get laid at the reunion, you know? Cyclops turned it around. Nobody turns it around anymore. The only upside to all these fat kids, though, is kidnappings are down 93% right now. Because you can't call names. You know, it's a different... Can't get them in the car fast enough at those speeds. You imagine being a kidnapper in this day and age? Guy pulls up in the white van. Say, kid, I got candy, get in. He's like, does it contain high fructose corn syrup? It's sad, man. Going soft. Can't even beat your kid anymore. I don't know how I feel about that. Because I'm not telling you I want to beat my kid, but we never should have told them that we can't beat them because they don't have to respect us anymore. They don't respect you. Ever get so mad at your kid you wonder if you could survive in prison? You know? Like if I could get through 7 months, I could belt this fucker right here in Target. It is foreign to me because I'm Italian, which means not only did I get beat as a kid, my parents used weapons, man. Every Italian kid got beat with either a belt or a spoon. That's how it went down, right? And that wasn't the fucked up part. The fucked up part was you had to go get it for them. Do you know how traumatic it is to go get an inanimate object that you know is going to destroy your life? It's the closest thing to buying an engagement ring. I can explain. Silly. But we respected our parents because we were scared. You ever been to a playground this day and age? Those kids aren't scared. The moms are like, Atticus, Gulliver, get down from there. And they're like, shut up, bitch, I'm playing. And she's like, all right. And she just takes an Instagram photo, hanging out with my little man. Besties. Like if you wanted to help society, like the best thing you could do if you could build like a time machine would be to put today's kids in it and dial 1982. You know that? Because it would help. Like a kid would go back in time and come walking out in the living room all sassy, just complaining about stuff like a VCR. I'm not watching a VCR, mommy. It takes all day. I am not watching. And some parent would just throw a shoe across shut the fuck up. That'd be it. It wouldn't even be that kid's parent. It'd be somebody else's parent. They'd be fine. You remember when George W. Bush was president? He was over in Iraq. Someone threw a shoe at him and he fucking dodged it. That's because he got beat as a kid. That's what I learned in that moment. Barbara Bush was a shoe thrower. And he dodged it because she had a cannon for an arm. Nobody tagged up on Barbara Bush back in the day. 20 years from now, someone throws a shoe at the president, he's getting smoked because he won't know how to dodge it. Except they won't throw a shoe, they'll throw a Snickers bar and he'll die of a peanut allergy. Sad. Sad. I don't know who we're raising these pussy kids for, you know? Because we're supposed to be in the ass-kicking business as a country, but in 20 years we're gonna have a military that's like, oh my God, ISIS called me an infidel, I am not fighting today. That is very insensitive.